All right, everyone, welcome once again to an episode of the Vinyl Community Guncles. This is episode number 20. We've done 20 of these so far. I'm Robert Fithin, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, and Mike from Hub Tunes. Today we'll be talking about the passing of Aaron Carter, dying at age 34, and asking that question, do we really need child singers and superstars on the stage? Is that a thing? Do we need that? Because it never seems to work out too well, So we'll talk about that coming up. Also, Craig has the scenario of what album would you pull? We will be reviewing another one of our live stream suggestions that came in as a runner-up. Almendra, the Argentina, a band from Argentina that was super, influential and just very popular there. I don't think any of us had been familiar with them at all, so That'll be interesting to find out if that's coming up. But first, we've got a lot of album reviews before that. If my math is correct, we've got 20 to go through because, once again, we're stealing someone's idea. This is what we're doing now. We don't have our own ideas. We're just going to steal. If we haven't stolen your idea yet, don't be. It's coming up. I'm sure.
It's a thread. We're just doing a thread.
Yes. We're continuing a thread started by Chris from Rekkid Talk.
Rekkid.
Yeah, I said it. I don't like saying it, but I did.
You love it. You love it.
He does 5 albums in 5 minutes, so that's what we're doing. And some of us are just choosing albums that we're currently listening to. Some of us are shaking our phones on Discogs because that gives you a random album. That's what I'll be doing. Who wants to? I don't have mine yet, so who wants to start that? 5 out. Here comes 20 album reviews. 21 counting the.
Who's going to keep time? Who's going to keep
I've
time?
got the timer ready.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's right. I forgot about that. It's okay, 5 minutes.
I'll go first. I didn't rehearse this, but
All right.
So let me know when you're going.
And if somebody goes over time, I mean, you can.
I don't think it's
we're not
an
going
issue.
to mute somebody and kick them off.
You will no longer be a gunkle.
No longer.
I just wanted to say I did review, what was that, like 10 albums in 45 seconds. So
Wow.
That video I did where I did the 33s and 45 or something like that. Anyway.
All right, and go, Richard.
All right. So the 5 albums that Discogs gave me. The first one here is one by Peter Green. This is one of his later albums, The End of the Game. I have always liked Peter Green's era of Fleetwood Mac better than any of the other periods. I really love his guitar work. I think he's a better guitar player than Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is very showy and talented and versatile guitar player, but Peter Green makes the guitar talk. He can really play through his feelings. There's some great songs on here, including songs that he now I'm stumbling here. Songs that, the guitar is not in the forefront, but they're still really, really good. My next record is a blind buy I made recently. This is a fellow by the name of Juan Waters. He is sort of very light guitar, psychedelic folk, really good. We are talking about Almendra later. He plays very much in that style because he is originally from Uruguay and then transplanted to New York City. Really good record. I was really happy when I got this. They're very fun songs. And of course, it's a cute guy without a shirt on the front cover. That's what sold it for me.
That is why you bought it.
This one, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, came up, and this is such a great album all the way through. I mean, for a double record, you could see how this might easily be really bloated at times, but it's not. And it's got so many great hits. And one song in particular, Benny and the Jets, was my song in high school because I felt that song was telling my story in some ways because I was still in the closet, very restrained. But man, that song, when he gets up into the falsetto and then he's got the other hard driving vocals, I just felt liberated every time I heard that song. Really, really good songs, on here. Even some of the deeper cuts like Jamaica Jerk Off or Social Disease. Of course, there was the big hits like Saturday Night and Funeral for a Friend, Candle in the Wind. But yeah, excellent record. Believe it or not, this one came up in the shake. Frank Zappa's Apostrophe. This is probably his most accessible album. Well, good one for people new to Zappa to start off with. Interesting things about this. You've got the Yellow Snow Suite, which is roughly 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Actually, it's around 11 minutes. And there was a DJ in Pittsburgh who created a single mix out of those songs that was less than 4 minutes that became like a #1 hit in Pittsburgh. And the record went up to 500 sales, so it went gold. It was Zappa's first gold record. And then finally, we have Jean Ponty, electric violinist, who also played with Zappa. I remember getting this record when I was a freshman in college. Saw Jean Ponty play. This is a really amazing record. Very ethereal in many ways. The drummer on this record is just absolutely crazy. The guitar player is absolutely crazy too. And I'm probably going to take up too much time looking up who it is. Daryl Sturmer is the guitar player. And I can't find the drummer. Oh, Mark Craney. They played in Miller Auditorium at Western Michigan University, where I was going at the time, which is a fantastic auditorium. And just an amazing, it's very much a theme-filled album. All the songs really flow through and play well together. Great jazz fusion that doesn't have any horns. So maybe Robert will like it. Those are my 5 records in 5 minutes. How much time do I have left?
You still have
You're
27
good.
seconds.
How many?
24, 23, 22.
Well, if you really want to find the dish on this, you need to go to my videos about Frank Zappa and Jim Gordon, the drummer, on Apostrophe. You need to see my video about Jim Gordon. There you go.
Oh my goodness, you've had 8 seconds to spare.
Benny and the Jets was the only time that Elton John performed on Soul Train, and it was his only R&B hit.
I love that song. Oh my God! It just
He did it with the Muppets too.
It gives me the tingles down my back every time I hear it.
Is the end of the game a soundtrack?
No,
movie?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it. No, I don't think it is. No, it's not.
Daryl Strummer played on a lot of albums, and I know he played in a lot of. I want to say he toured with Genesis in those '80s years. Just a live musician. But yeah, he's been around a long time. I don't know if he's still around, but.
And if any of you guys really like the Almendra record, I would recommend that Juan Waters. I would recommend checking him out.
Yeah, I forgot we were being timed, so I'm going to do my album pull while somebody's doing their thing. My phone check, because that would be like wasting time doing that.
Okay.
Who's next?
That was fun.
Go, Mike.
Me? Okay.
No, wait, I'm getting like 45s. Is there a way to... I've never done this before.
I didn't know that was a...
Yeah, so I got a couple 45s, which I thought doing Chris likes 45s, but... And then there was one artist that I got like 4 albums by that artist, but...
He does 45s a lot for his 5 records in 5 minutes.
I don't use that Discogs app. It's terrible. I just go right to the website on my phone.
Oh, see, I like the app better.
Do you really?
The app works fine for me.
Maybe it's gotten better over the years. I never use it.
I only started using it like a year ago. So
I got one.
When I'm going to enter when I pick up a new record, if it's got a barcode, I start with the app on my phone, searching for the barcode, and then I double check to make sure, because sometimes the barcodes will pull up.
Yeah, they're not always
different variants, but it gets me started when I want to see which one I have.
Yeah.
I didn't used to like it, but I don't know if you've got like iPhone or like Android, but I have an Android and I didn't used to like it because it was always sluggish and stuff wouldn't come up, but that's changed in like the last, I'd say 3 months or so. It's super lightning fast now and always works.
Yeah,
I used to be like at a record store trying to find if I already had something or whatever, and it was just like, it wouldn't work, basically. But now it works all the time now.
I could have used that today because I bought a record I already own.
Oh no!
I've done that.
That'd be a good
before.
discussion for some time too. How many times has that happened?
I've done that before. That's why I'm glad I have that app.
It's a different pressing, but I'm not into pressings. But whatever, it's fine.
And does that mean that you have too many albums? Is that a sign of having too many albums?
It's
What
the first
is
time.
too many albums? Who's going next?
I'll go
Mike
next.
Oh hell no! I'm not doing fucking Van Morrison. Let's keep it. Positive,
you cheated. Okay,
Okay.
are you ready, Mike?
Yes, I'm
And
ready.
go.
I'm gonna go under. Okay. I pulled this. Talking Heads, Fear of Music.
Oh, yeah.
It was just announced, and I bought tickets. I think Richard said, "Did you buy a ticket also for the upcoming Adrian Belew and what's this?" They're going to be doing a cover. They're going to cover the entire album plus other Talking Heads songs. Coming to Chicago at the Vic Theater. Should be awesome. Awesome. This is my favorite Talking Heads record. Definitely not Little Creatures. We discussed that last week.
No, that's your favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I love that record. Heaven. Oh my God, this thing has so many great songs on it. Heaven, Cities, Paper. It's a terrific record. I absolutely love this record. This and Remain in Light are my two favorite Talking Heads.
That's
So
the
super
other one
excited.
they're going to feature in that show.
Oh, are they? Oh, good.
Yeah.
I heard it's getting great.
I'm
reviews.
using up your time. Sorry.
No.
Stop
You
it.
guys gonna really cut me off? Wait, Craig, are you gonna cut me off?
No, but
No.
the timer might go off. But
Okay. I pulled this. I love this record. This is the comeback record after 18 years. Jesus and Mary Chain came out of, oh God, now it seems like yesterday, but it's probably been 7 or 8 years now. Damage and Joy. They toured with this record, and it was great. This is a really, really good record. If you guys have never heard this and you like Jesus and Mary
I have
Chain,
not.
it holds up to their earlier stuff. It's very, very good. I mean, it's not Psycho Candy or Darklands, but it's right up there. It's really good. They toured with this. That was when they did the anniversary of Psycho Candy, and they opened with Psycho Candy, and then they did this a bunch of hits too, which was really, really cool show. I was listening to this the other day. This is the Meters, Fire on the Bayou. Great, funky New Orleans, gorgeous record. It's on a really cool vinyl too. If you need to see colored vinyl, but it's on.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I don't know who
90.
did this pressing. It's been out for a while. I don't know who did this, but it's a really good sounding pressing, and it's probably my favorite Meters record, Fire on the Bayou. This is a new record. It just came out a couple of months ago, and a poorly named band, but they've been around a while. This is the Viagra Boys. This is a fun record. Yeah, it's called Cave World. Great artwork. It's fun. It's funky. It's kind of got a post-punk vibe to it, but it's very upbeat. There's not a ballad on this thing. Everything is like go, go, go. It's a terrific record. It's definitely one of my favorites of 2022, Viagra Boys. And then these are two records that all three of you would hate. The Reverend Rock and Roller, I watch all his videos. He's got a great channel. And but he showed these a couple of weeks ago. This is Sam Gundel and Sam Wilkes, music for saxophone and bass. This is the first one, and then this is the second one. And I had heard of these records before. They're jazz, but very ambient. They're very, very cool. And I had heard of them before, and they were kind of in my wheelhouse of what I was going to buy. I just never got around. And then he showed them on his channel, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick them up. And I've been playing these a lot lately. I was playing it yesterday, actually, and my partner, Corey, comes into the room, and he goes, what the fuck are you listening to? so I know it's good. It's not for everybody. It's weird. It's different. But if you like just kind of weird, experimental, out there stuff, very, very interesting music. Both of them are excellent. I would probably go with this one over the second one, but really, really cool. Instrumental, ambient, jazzy, out there kind of stuff, but not like free jazz or anything like that. Just really, really interesting stuff. So, boom, done.
Oh, and you had 36 seconds to spare.
I'll say if that Talking Heads tribute thing comes in to your town, I think you should definitely go. So somebody,
Yeah,
should
Adrian Ballou did one already for.
Is it Jerry Harrison? Yeah, it's Jerry Harrison.
He did the David Bowie one, and they were also at
I saw that too. Yeah,
I didn't go to that one.
It was okay. There was a better Bowie tribute at the Metro right after he passed away.
Yeah,
it was the Sons of. It's the title of the song from Lodger, "Sons of the Silent Age."
Yeah,
and it was great. But what's her name from Garbage? Shirley Manson was the lead singer, and she did all Bowie songs. It was an hour and a half of her singing Bowie songs. It was fantastic. They had a guy come out and also sing a couple of songs, but she was the highlight. I mean, doing Fame, and she was absolutely fantastic. Adrian Ballou wasn't with that though. It was something different. Yeah,
I think with Adrian Ballou and the Bowie, he was brought in for a tour. Yeah. But Adrian Ballou was involved in the production of Remain in Light and Fear of Music. So, I mean, he's going to know those songs pretty intimately.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited.
God, he's like 70-some years old now.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
I saw him at do you remember when he had a band called The Bears?
Yeah, I have a few Bears records.
Yeah. and I saw him he played in Carbondale at our student center. And it was like a Saturday night. It was Adrian Ballou and the Bears. He was promoting the first record. Not a big record. It was okay. It was a decent record. But as a kid, I was like, oh, Adrian Ballou, I got to see him. And I go to the student center, and it's literally me and like 20 people. There was nobody in the place. I felt really bad for him, but it was fun. It was cool. I enjoyed it. It was free. Yeah. Okay. I'm way over now.
Well, you stopped talking about the records, kind of. So, yeah, you're just talking. That's okay.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're so glad.
Better than just standing here and not saying anything. Like we're doing now.
Right.
All right, come on, who's next?
Go ahead, Fitham. I'll do mine last.
Oh, okay. Well, I got mine, so okay. I don't know what to start with here. Yes,
it's going.
Okay, so I actually like all of these. The first one is the most recent. Yola and Walk Through Fire. I didn't do that Van Morrison that came up at Astro Weeks. That's enough of that shit. Yola, Walk Through Fire. I thought this was excellent. This was her debut. She's got another album out after this that wasn't quite as good. She kind of went more just mainstream pop. I wish she would have stayed with this sound. Totally her own kind of a retro country thing going on with a little bit of a soul in there, obviously, too. And she's just incredible. She seems like the kind of person that would be great in concert. YOLO, Walk Through Fire. If you like soulful country and you like something new and kind of somebody that owns their own sound, check this out. Really big, 4 or 5 years ago. Aerosmith Rocks. Coincidentally, this was played, a couple tracks from this was played last night on Patrick's Vinyl Archivist stream. He played a quad version of Back in the Saddle, which was really, really interesting. Obviously, this is just the regular one, Back in the Saddle on here. Great song from them. Last Child is where they get really funky. That's pretty cool. Sick as a Dog was kind of an album track. Just your basic, just rock album. This is the one that follows Toys in the Attic, so it's still from that classic era of Aerosmith. Aerosmith Rocks from 1976, I believe. This is a 5-star album. Cyndi Lauper, she's so unusual. Who knew that the crazy, wacky, colorful Cyndi Lauper would later on become basically the voice of reason? Just a great interview with her. She has really matured into an incredible woman. I did see her with Cher, though, and did not like her concert then. She was all in black, and it was kind of boring. And it's like, Cyndi Lauper doesn't need to be all in black. She didn't do True Colors either. But yeah, she's so unusual. This is loaded with great, obviously, hit singles. She Bop is an album version on here. I definitely prefer the single mix. That's the only kind of bad thing about this. All Through the Night's incredible. Love that song. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, is okay. Time After Time's all right. But there's so many great album tracks on here as well. It's just super fun all the way through. Cyndi Lauper, she's so unusual. One of my 14 for a penny cassettes that I had. The Cure. Well, I can't believe this showed up. The Cure, The Head on the Door. This is one of my favorite Cure albums. Not really great. Long songs like they're known for when this was out, like Pornography and all that, where they're long and droning and is, oh my God, I'm just going to, I'm so depressed, I got to put on the Cure. There's actually, this is actually a really accessible album. If, like Richard said about the Frank Zappa, if you're your first Cure album and you don't want a bunch of hits like the Friday I'm in Love nonsense, this would be a good one to start with. Just like Sheep Bop, though, I definitely prefer the single mix of Close to Me, even though it has a bunch of horns in it. So go figure that. And this one does not. But great songs on here, like In Between Days, the other single from this, that's a super fast song. Incredible musicianship on that. It's kind of one of those great way that kind of contradiction with the tempo and the energy of the song with the lyrics. The lyrics are sad and whatever, and then the energy of the song kind of counters that. The Blood is pretty cool. 6 Different Ways is great. It's a more musically adventurous type of song. A Night Like This is the end track on the singles, Standing on the Beach. I think it makes a better ending song, but on here it's in the middle of side 2. Screw is kind of a funny song with a great weird bass line going on with boom, 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 kind of a really different sound for the Cure. But then again, they don't really have a basic sound. A lot of their stuff is a different sound for them. So The Head on the Door from the Cure from 1985. Excellent album from them. And we close things off with the debut from the Oak Ridge Boys. Now, this isn't really their debut. This is the debut from when they became a mainstream group. They have like 2,500 gospel albums with different members before this. But this is when they were basically a group that started singing about, basic country songs. This was considered their debut from 1977. It has the title track, Y'all Come Back Saloon. It has the other hit on here would be I'll Be True to You, which was not as big of a hit, but a bigger hit, You're the One. You're the one in a million. You're the one. Yeah, hand clapping country song. One thing about the Oak Ridge Boys that I like is they have great album tracks. You don't find that usually with country albums. It has the hit singles and everything else is just throwaway. But they've got some great album tracks on here. A lot of story songs. They go beyond just love songs, which another trap of like country albums. You just get 10 love songs, 5 fast, 5 slow type of thing. But they really are kind of impressive. The Oak Ridge Boys are here. And then you have these extras back here to fill up the picture. So there are my 5 ending, YOLO, Walk Through Fire, The Cure, The Head on the Door, Aerosmith, Rocks, Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual, and wrapping it up with the mainstream debut from the Oak Ridge Boys, Y'all Come Back Saloon. That's my 5 albums.
Oh, you made it. It went off right when you were finishing.
But of course.
Wow, isn't that the way it's
supposed to be? You know that thing that Roy Scheider does in the movie Blue Thunder, where he takes the stopwatch and puts it back here and then says stop, and it's right on. I can do that. Very proud of myself. Radio. A lot of 60-second commercials.
It's my favorite.
Right.
Was that exactly 5 minutes?
You were
like right on the dot, wasn't it?
Yeah, right when you were finishing, it went off.
I'm awfully proud of myself.
That's my favorite Aerosmith record. That's the best Aerosmith record.
Yeah, that's it's
I
great.
Love that record.
And the quad, I've got to find that.
Last Child is awesome. It's one of my favorite Aerosmith songs.
I've got to find that quad. The hooves on the back in the saddle, I guess, do a circular thing, and they're really louder. And the whips, you can actually hear the whoosh instead of just the psh. It's just a real different mix on the whole thing. Very nice. Now it's Craig's turn.
It's my turn. So let me get ready to start here. All right. First one that I shook. OMD's 1985 album Crush. Big singles off of here. So In Love, Secret. Crush is actually pretty dang close to one of my favorite OMD songs ever. I just love it. Beep, beep, beep. I've seen them like 4 times. La Femme Accidents, another one off of here. 88 Seconds in Greensboro, really good one. They have better, but there's a lot of good songs on that one. So from 1982, Romeo Voigt's Benefactor.
I love that record.
Yeah, some Deborah Ayal. She is just the coolest. I have one of her solo records. It's
Really?
it's not good, but I have it. I love it, and the artwork is really cool because she actually designed it herself because she is a painter, and that was something I learned recently. But never say never. I might like you better if we slept together. That is my jam. But this is just a really, really, really fantastic record. Veruca Salt, 1997.
Yeah.
Arms to Hold You. Their second record. The first one is better. But this, of course, has the big single Volcano Girls. My probably close to favorite Veruca Salt song is off this record, which is Shutterbug. Because you monkey, you left me. And yeah, I just absolutely adore Louise Post and Nina Gordon. Nina, is it Gordon? Oh, fuck. Now I think I fucked her name up. But it's Nina. Her first name is Nina. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. Okay, then we got from 1972, Miss Dolly Parton with Touch a Woman. Touch a Woman. Touch a woman.
Everything's gonna be all right.
All right. You gotta touch a woman. Such a jam. Oh, and it's got a Will
How
He Be
scandalous.
Waiting, which, oh my lord, Will He Be Waiting? She's re-recorded it like 407 times, but this is the best version of Will He Be Waiting. Ah, see, matching. Oh, and it's Dynaflex. What is the other? A Lot of You. Okay, I'm sorry. This A Lot of You Left in Me. Dolly, that sounds dirty. That sounds dirty. Did you leave something when you were trying to be safe? And never mind. A lot of you left in me, you dirty girl. But touch a woman. Everything is going to be all right if you touch a woman.
Just put your legs in the air like you just don't care.
Right. And lastly, it's kind of fun that this one popped up. I haven't thought about it for a while. From 1994, this is a compilation. This is Concrete Blondes Still in Hollywood. And this is rare and previously unreleased material. So it has a really cool acoustic version of Joey. It's got live version of like God is a Bullet. It's got their amazing cover of Everybody Knows. B-sides like Little Wing. There's a really cool live version of Tomorrow Wendy, which is like one of my favorite songs of theirs.
Such a great song.
100 Games of Solitaire, which is another one I just absolutely love. It's got a over 7-minute version of Bloodletting the Vampire song, and that's really cool. It's got all these weird sounds, and Jonna is just fucking brilliant, and that was a good one to end. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. 45 seconds left.
Veruca
Do you know why the Veruca Salt is called 8 Arms to Hold You?
Please tell me, because I don't think I know.
Because that was the original title of the Beatles' Help movie. In fact, on some of the early releases for the Help single, it says from the movie 8 Arms to Hold You.
Really?
Yeah.
I recently watched a movie that it was a terrible movie. It was a really shitty movie. But the closing track was 25 by Veruca Salt. And I was like, oh my God, who is this? I love this song.
They're such a good band.
It is on my want list, the American Thighs record. So I would love to get that just for that song.
Just for last the song record, something harp. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's actually really, really good. There was
all their records are really good.
Yeah, but there's a couple that only has. I think it's just Louise and not Nina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's. And then, hello, they got their name from freaking Willy Wonka Girl. So don't care.
I need to get that Concrete Blonde compilation. I mean, I have all their records, so I never thought about buying them.
I think that might be out of print, but that came out when they reissued all their. Well, not all of them, because their last 2 records have.
Yeah, they didn't do
the last 2 records have still never been put on vinyl.
Yeah, yeah.
I want
And her
groups to be-
and none of her solo stuff is on vinyl.
Actually, her new solo record that just came out, there's a vinyl release on the 11th.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Yeah, they have Veruca Salt has a song on here called "With David Bowie," and I remember we had a specialty show on Sunday nights when we would play stuff like this on the rock station, and the DJ swore up and down that they did a song with David Bowie on here, and I'm like, no, I think that's a song called David. No, it's right here. It's a song called "One Last Time" with David Bowie. It's like, no, if you look, there's a number next. That's a song called "With David Bowie."
yeah, it's after One Last Time.
Right.
Ghost Notes was their last record that came out in 2016.
Uh-huh.
But I think Revolver and 4, if I'm not mistaken, either one. I'm thinking it was Nina because she did a solo.
No,
Well, I
they're
hope I
they're
find
a
that
great
record
band.
because they're not. I don't. The ones I looked up, the debut.
And I had her name right. It was Nina.
Yeah, the debu's going for like $75 to $100.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're '90s vinyl.
Yeah.
You got to get a reissue of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Both of mine. I only had the first two. They're both reissues.
How do they sound?
Mine are too.
I
the
think
quality.
I think they sound fine, but I'm not as as
They
long as-
sound fine.
As long as it doesn't sound like it's in a tunnel, I'm okay. So I'm not like one of those.
They sound good. They're good reissues.
Yeah, there's a 2014 reissue going for $30.
But
That's the one I have, I think.
But the American Thighs has another. There's another issue coming out either this year or the beginning of next year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I just saw that because they're in my Instagram feed.
Did you guys see? Not to change the subject, but last week we did our review of the Tracy Thorn record. Did you see the news that Everything But the Girl is getting back together and releasing an album?
No,
I did not see that.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm like, did we cause that?
Like right after we did.
I hope we did, and I hope they go back to more of their old school sound.
And it sounds like the record is done. Like it's done. It's just waiting to be released. So yeah, that'll be great.
There still must be a fairly
We'll
big
review it.
backlog.
Wow. We will review it.
The pressing plants must still have a real big backlog.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adele. Thanks, Taylor Swift, with your 4 variants of.
Yeah,
Until these
I was
two new
seeing a
ones
bunch
get
of
on.
stuff about how Taylor Swift has ruined vinyl somehow. I didn't read the article though. But,
Well, Adele ruined it first. Now, come on, let's
Yeah.
give credit where credit's due.
And everywhere you go, there's that Adele record and like 45 copies of it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So now we're mad that artists are putting out records.
I'm not mad that they're putting
Artists
out
we don't buy the records for, of course.
Well, yeah, I guess we
preventing
don't.
other people from getting their records pressed.
Yeah.
It's like those people that say they don't like it when people get political with their music, and what they mean is they don't like it when people get political with politics they don't agree with
Yeah.
in their music. If I agree with their
Exactly.
politics, it's fine,
Uh,
It's like we don't mind people putting out
That's-
records as long as it's artists we like.
that's a topic
think
for
like
another
us.
video.
And like the same things as us.
Right. So
Well,
yeah, it was blamed on Adele when she came out with the new one. Now they're blaming Taylor Swift. But Taylor Swift has 4 different covers, and then the album has 4 different covers that you can buy, and everybody's buying all 4 different ones, of course.
Good.
And then
Like
I would
through the outdoor.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know this for certain, but I would assume that then each cover comes with like 5 different color vinyl variants and things
Yeah,
like
each
that.
cover-
Is she
has
putting them in a paper bag so you don't know which one you're getting?
No, it tells you. I got it.
We're not there yet.
But it tells you what color you're getting on what specific cover.
The
That's
one
great.
she's got like a lighter, like she's getting ready to light something
Yeah,
up.
that's the most common one.
I figured it would be.
That's gonna be the. I got the one that she's like laying on the floor, but she's got like a record next to her. And
Yeah, you got to have the vinyl version
Yeah.
of the vinyl cover.
Yes, I'm like, oh look, she's laying next to a record. I'm gonna pick that one. I don't like the color of the variant as much as some of the other ones, but
Well, if they are printing that many and pressing that many, let's hope the pressing plants get some good practice in, so that when they start pressing other records, they know how to do it
they do a better job.
without surface flaws.
I found out one of the most expensive things in my collection is Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah,
It's a CD promo single that I just have just because I used to work at a country station for a while, and I would just get promo singles just to have them on CD. And this one is like, I think it's Love Story or something. It's going for people will pay like $500 for that. Just one song on a CD, and I have it. So if I ever get, desperate or whatever, or Taylor Swift passes away and
wow,
and it doubles. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Taylor Swift to pass away.
Oh, terrible.
Wow.
Hopefully that'll double or triple in value, and then I'll get rid of it. Yeah.
I think it's great. I walked into Target the other day, and right when I walked in the door, boom, vinyl records, and it was all her display. Huge ass display. I think it's great. Who cares? I don't care if she's taking up plant space. Really?
Most of the records I want have already been made like 40 years ago, so I don't really, it doesn't bother me. Whatever keeps the interest going, especially in new stuff. Exactly, that way people aren't buying old stuff. I want the old stuff. So spend your money on that new stuff.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift very young when she started.
Yeah.
Which is another topic for today. Sadly, Aaron Carter has passed away. Speaking of people passing away. 34 years old, found in a bathtub.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
I also, let it also be known, I had no idea who he was until you guys said we were going to talk about him.
I just knew who he was based on his infamy. I don't know any of his music. I had to look it up, and I guess he just had really one hit in the U.S., and it was called "Come to Aaron's Party." Get some, or he had that when he was 12, by the way.
Oh no!
And he started off when he was 9 years old with a cover of the Jets' "Crush on You," and I think he was probably more of a celebrity than he was a big chart person. I guess he toured with Backstreet Boys because his brother was in the Backstreet Boys.
He was on Nickelodeon a lot too.
Yeah, so he's always on TV shows and stuff like that. But yeah, which begs the question: do we really need child? I guess musician's the wrong word. Child singers, superstars. Isn't that? Do we need that? Because it rarely works out well.
Like
for the
Honey
person.
Boo Boo?
Well, she's not she's a singer now?
Yeah, she was a performer.
Yeah, she was a singer model.
Well, I mean, it rarely works out, right? I mean, I would say more than half end up, dead early or on serious drugs, just outside, living outside the law. Who?
Johnny Bonaducci.
Still alive.
Yeah, but
somehow he's alive.
Well, he was actor, though, so that's a little different. But, I mean, I don't know. Michael Jackson, there's an example. There's just a lot of young people that...
But it wasn't music that wrecked Michael Jackson. It was that horrible, abusive background that he came from. When you think about it. His father...
Yeah, I guess when you work with a group... or a family, it's a little different. Well, especially a family, then you get away with the child labor laws because it's like working at a family restaurant. You can be 10 years old and work with your family.
Yeah.
The Osmonds,
Yeah, I don't know what happened with them, but it just seems, I don't know, it's creepy. Tanya Tucker, she had some hard times. They really sexualized her at a young age, too. It's like she had 15, 14 years old doing Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone, and, I could just picture, hey, I got that Tanya Tucker.
You remember the band? You remember?
I got any of that K-pop on pink vinyl?
Ew! Stop!
Is it scratch and sniff?
Oh Jesus, God!
Look, Craig left because of what you're doing.
God,
he just leaned back. He's getting comfortable.
I'm
you
gagging.
need to stop that right now.
I can't wait to get home and shine up the old ramrod with this new Tanya Tucker. She's turned 15 today.
Oh my God! You just
God!
Put your teeth back in.
I remember I did this thing on my YouTube channel where I asked people to suggest newer albums for me to listen to, because here's a shock, I don't listen to a lot of newer music unless it's introduced to me some way by someone. And so one of the main things was, oh my God, you got to check out Billie Eilish. And I realize she's older. She's not like, 12 or something. But still, as I think I was 48 when that was going on, I was listening to her, and the very first thing she says on the very beginning of the album is, "Let me take my retainer out." And I'm just like, I'm too old for this. I am too old for this. And I just felt creepy the entire time listening. I'm a bad girl or whatever. Ugh. Then go upstairs and wait for your mother to get home and think about what you did.
Well,
I'm just
going back
not
to
into it.
Young, music stars. You remember the band Musical Youth?
Yeah, they
they made a huge splash.
With a marijuana song at age 12.
Yeah, Pass the Ducci. But yeah, they kind of hit the skids shortly after that, and they tried to get back together, and it didn't work, and one of them died. So for many of them, but I do have a child star that really did quite well.
Brenda Lee.
Well,
Little Miss Dynamite.
Ronnie Osmond.
Okay.
A lot of them.
Richard is not that old, Robert.
A lot of the Mouseketeers did really well,
But that's a TV show.
Are you going to show a net on the cello?
No, wait a
record?
minute, right? Britney Spears, Justin
Now
Timberlake.
we're talking.
Britney Spears did well?
That's
Are you kidding?
Britney Spears, she didn't crash and burn because she was a child star. She crashed and burned, maybe for some other reasons.
Because her father took control of her. I think if she wasn't a musician, none of that would have happened. I keep using musician, but superstar, none of that would have happened.
Wore boots?
No, I think that would have happened anyway.
Well, no, I mean that was her whole thing. Is her father wanted all of her money.
Yeah, how are things working out for him?
Well, how's things working out for a lot of musicians?
Yeah. But what's happened to him? What's happened to him has happened as an adult. But as a child, yeah.
He did rather well.
I don't know. So. I just get creeped out by that stuff. Billy Gilman. I remember being on country station.
Adults coming in. Annette. That is
Johnny Crawford.
Come on. Beautiful. That's beautiful, Craig.
He had a great career.
I thought he was a little fucked up too. No?
No, he had a great career with in movies, in music. He had some top 20 hits in the 60s.
Okay, Aqualung.
I got me some Johnny Crawford records here. All right.
The sound of children singing is like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah, and it's creepy. It's fuck.
Shirley Temple.
And he had some great roles.
Temple, her
movies.
songs make my skin crawl.
Shirley Temple, that movie where she's singing on the Good Ship Lollipop, that is one of the most tragic. I mean, just it's a tragic movie. Her mom dies, then her dad dies, then this other person that's taking care of her. Everybody's dying around her. And the reason she sings on the Good Ship Lollipop, she's on a plane and she's entertaining grown men with this song, by the way. And the reason she's singing it is because the pilot of the plane just found out that this little girl's mom was killed run over in a car. She's crossing the street with the girl's birthday cake in her hand, gets killed as a car runs her over, and he doesn't know how to tell her, so he just tells her to go back and entertain those guys while he talks to the person on the phone about the dead mom. And so she goes back and sings on the Good Ship Lollipop. It's a movie called Bright Eyes. It is one of the, everybody thinks Shirley Temple movies, oh my God, so fun and so, no, they're tragic.
She's
maybe
tragic.
That's why she was such a
she was tragic. She was molested by somebody from MGM and or a couple of people, right?
Yeah, children that sing just make my skin crawl. Don't even get me going on. Don't even get me going on Annie. That whole thing makes. Just the sound of their.
I just feel like I'm too old
singing songs.
Not a fan of High School Musical.
No,
never seen it. I've never seen Glee except for like 10 minutes. Never seen
that piece of shit.
Jane, somebody tells the kids to write down their dreams, and crumble them up and throw them away. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. Some realism finally. And, no, that's the villain. You're not supposed to like them. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not watching any more of this.
I have a bunch of friends that used to go to the local gay bar and watch Glee every Wednesday night.
Oh, God.
Every Wednesday. It was their big Wednesday night out. And they would go, and they would always invite me. And then I'd get there.
You know how you can't get into an R-rated movie unless you're above a certain... They should have something where you can't watch this if you're above a certain... Like, Glee will not show up on your thing if you're over the age of 15.
They would invite me to go with them, and I would go. And then
you have to have a
like,
child with you. It has to be your child, or you have to have an accompanying a child, or you cannot watch this.
When I meditate on the 4 Brahmaviharas, I will be thinking of you guys.
What happened?
He's thinking of us doing something.
I just remember Billy Gilman and that one voice song, and then some woman complaining because his second album wasn't as sexy as his first. Grown woman. And he was like probably, 10, 11 when that came out? Sorry, his second album wasn't as sexy as the first.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Gilman.
Yeah.
What happened to him? What happened to the yodeling Walmart kid?
I don't know this.
What's it like to be a has-been when you're 10 years old? That's unhealthy. That's
the bottom line is a lot of them do become has-beens by the time when they hit puberty.
Right.
You know,
what does that do to your
change.
mind? I mean, most adults can't handle that.
It goes back to so many people, especially children. Children are not equipped to have a solid sense of self. And there are many adults who look at the outside world for validation. And then we put children into these situations where they suddenly think they're big shit because they sold 100,000 records, or they've got something going on. And then it's such an ephemeral experience because people will just move on, and then all of a sudden, but I you're going to be like what's her name in the movie I'm Ready for My Close-Up, Mr. DeMille.
Yes, Gloria Steinem. That's not right. What's her name?
Definitely not Gloria Steinem.
Oh my God, I can't think of her name. This movie is called Sunset Boulevard.
Right. Yeah, Gloria.
And
it was Glenn.
William Holden starts off dead in the pool.
Which was a movie I saw on TV when I was like 8 years old, and I was like, I love that movie ever since.
Gloria Swanson.
Gloria Swanson, yes.
Gloria Swanson, yes.
You're Gloria Swanson. You used to be big. I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
Yes. What a line. What a line.
Yeah. Norma Desmond was the name of the character.
Norma Desmond. You're Norma Desmond. Yeah, Gloria Swanson is the actress. That's right.
The actress, yes.
Yeah. And didn't Glenn Close do the movie?
No, that's the movie. And Glenn Close.
Didn't she do...
She did like a made-for-television.
She did the Disney Plus live version, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show or whatever.
That had a musical
She might have been on Broadway with it. I don't know.
Maybe she was on Broadway. Yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with my Broadway.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Mill, Mr. DeMille. Or is it Mr. Mayor?
Mr. DeMille.
Mr.
DeMille.
I didn't know if it was Metro Goldwyn Mayer or Mr.
So that exhausted me.
Yeah, that was quite the discussion of childhood story. We didn't even talk about
Jordy, Justin Bieber,
the singing baby. Juju etre baby. It's so tough to be a baby. He was 6 years old. He wasn't a baby. Yeah, Justin Bieber. There's a.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Bieber.
Things are going well for him, huh?
Yeah, he's doing okay, right? I guess.
Well, I mean, I think his career is still going.
I don't know. He's got a neurological disorder where he can't sing.
What? No, yeah, I didn't know Aaron Carter was dead.
He recently said that he was suffering from some type of neurological disorder. But you see,
is it like a psychological thing, like Shania Twain?
No, it's a real neurological issue that's progressively worse, like Parkinsonism or something like that.
Because Shania Twain had like a mental block where she literally couldn't. Like they have baseball pitchers that just can't pitch because they have some mental thing block or whatever?
All of a sudden they can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something they've been doing forever. They all of a sudden can't do.
That's what supposedly happened to Shania Twain.
But she got a new record coming out, so.
Well, this was right after the
know.
divorce. This was like 15 years ago or whatever.
Well, there was a big break in between, like
Ramsay Hunt syndrome. That's what he is.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Is what he's being affected by, a rare and potentially devastating condition. So it causes facial tics and a lot of other things. So it's preventing him from, But I was going back to this whole, like the other fellow that started this conversation. Who was that?
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter. The whole neck and face tattoo thing. I mean, I don't know. That's
Aaron Carter.
Yeah. Okay, so more music. Now we're going to talk about a band from Argentina. And I don't know how old they are.
Argentina.
Apparently a really influential band, one of the biggest bands there.
Sounds like it, man.
Early 70s. And when this was first described, first of all, this was suggested by someone who was a runner-up in our live stream contest where, you pick the album we're going to review. And so they pick, who was it? It was
no idea.
Swedish erotica series or something?
Yeah, no, it's Sweden WB or something like that. Crap.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Swedish WB.
That's what I said, Swedish erotica series. Starring Marilyn Chambers. Number 26.
It's not who it is.
So Swedish somebody
Swedish
suggested
WB is who it was.
WB.
Yeah.
Craig took notes.
Almendra is their name.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I first heard they were a psychedelic group from 1970, I was expecting more like a hard rock, because the way they looked in their picture, like they're gonna rock out, but it's more of a folksy kind of psych. Who wants to go first?
Well, you're in the zone. Go.
It's in Spanish, is the Argentina version, kind of dialect of Spanish. So, I had to translate all the lyrics so I understood what they were singing about, and it's a lot of very much love songs and songs about people going off into the sky and clouds and rainbows and things like that, and just general life stuff, but in this, like I said, like kind of clouds and sky kind of psychedelia going on. Folksy, very acoustic guitar. The album is in mono. There's no stereo version of this except for like a fake stereo version. So I thought that was kind of interesting for 1970. Songs like Human Color, the second song, puts in a little more electric, almost a fuzz guitar with the acoustic sounds. You have songs like Annie Doesn't Sleep, a little more upbeat there. A lot of songs like Annie Doesn't Sleep about girls. The first song's all about don't run away. Why are you running away? Come back and let me make a castle out of your belly. I don't think some of these lyrics translate very well. But the don't run away, stop running away was kind of okay. Why? Maybe you why is she running away? But yeah, that's what you usually get from songs that are older like that. Interesting song called "For Me" about a dying man, and he's dying and he's in hospice, and he's got to just let go and go up into the sky, and you've had your life and whatever. Kind of a really sad song. So they kind of run the gamut between beautiful love songs about girls and then songs about colors and the sky and rainbows, and then you get a dying person in hospice, and but yeah, so it's lyrically it's kind of beautiful all over the place with different things. Even the sad song has a certain amount of beauty to it. I do think that a lot of it doesn't translate, at least what the translation versions I saw were supposed to be done by humans, actually that understand this dialect of Spanish, translating it into English. It wasn't just like Google, automatic translate, which I did add on one of the songs, and it turned out into a mess.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, this was actually done by a real person. So, but it wasn't what I was expecting, but I wasn't disappointed. I thought it was definitely different. I enjoyed listening to something completely different than anything I'd heard before, and I will give it 3.5 rainbows.
Sounds good. I'll go next.
Wow.
Um, I did not translate all the lyrics for the songs. I did translate the titles so that at least the titles would give me, I just want to, listen to the music. So, and in general, I really liked this record. It's now in my Discogs want list. The first song, Girl, which maybe this is the one you were talking about, Muchacha Ojos de Papel.
Yeah, that's the one where don't run away. Stop running away. Come back.
Yeah, the girl with the paper eyes. So I'll have to translate the lyrics more to kind of to get a better understanding of it. But just the title of the song really kind of intrigued me. And then Color Humano, that's the psychedelic one. It's a long song. Like, yeah, I wrote down the same thing. Fuzz and wah wah, definitely a very 60s sound. Really sublime guitar playing, and that I thought, and killer bass. Oh my God, the bass riffs going on in that song were so good. Figuracion, folk, kind of a folk acid rock song that kind of reminded me of like Pentangle a little bit, and the kind of the stuff that they did. Ana no duerme, Anna doesn't sleep. I wrote down the question, why doesn't she sleep? So I'm trying, I want to know, why doesn't she sleep?
She just wants to live life.
Pretty
she wants
sure
to do
I know
everything.
Yeah.
She loves everything around her and wants to be awake for it.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and the way that song was put together. Then there's Fermin, which is about Fermin's hands. Don't know what's going on with Fermin's hands, but it was all right.
That's the one where the guy's dying in a hospice.
Oh, okay. So I didn't translate.
Legendary Holy Man.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Plegaria para un niño dormido. Plague for a sleeping child. What a title for a song. When you think about it. But again, really very folky, contemplative, and the kind of psychedelic a little bit. It's I talked about the record in my 5 for 5, and the one here with Juan Waters. When I was listening to that,
the shirtless guy.
Yeah, it immediately made me think of this. I also have listened to Os Mutantes, but that's a Brazilian band. And I have a record by Los Gatos, which is an Argentine band, psychedelic, same era, a little bit different. They're more Baroque pop psychedelia. But then the song, Estos Hombres Tristes, to these sad men. That was kind of a poppy song and almost had like a bossa nova rhythm to it. I enjoyed that one a great deal. Que el viento borró tus manos. The wind erased your hands. And I was like, wow, what a title for a song. And I didn't translate the lyrics to go with that. And then Laura Goes. Kind of made me think of the film, and that's an Italian or Sicilian film, Cinema Paradiso. But nonetheless, the song kind of had that quality to it that it made me think of that.
Like magical.
Yeah, yeah, very, very much magical. And so I really enjoyed this record. It's on my want list now. There's only 2 pressings. One was an Argentina pressing. Yeah. One was an Uruguay pressing. There were no other pressings. So it's a difficult record to find, and at least on vinyl. And
there's a later reissue. There's a couple of, like I said, but
that later reissue.
Yeah, I think so.
That later reissue, I think, it's unauthorized, or there's something sketchy about it. And also, I think it was a stereo. And like you said, the original was mono. So, I don't know. I would probably prefer to get the mono. I really enjoyed this. I'm going to give it 4 rainbows. And this is definitely a record I want to add to my collection. All right. Moving on.
You want me to go? I'll be real quick. No, it's all good. No, it's all good. When we had our list of records that we were going to review from the contest, I started listening to this like right away, but I think I was listening to the wrong record. Like, I think I was listening maybe their first record.
It's
like, which I think this is actually their first record. The other one was when they fell apart. Is when the band started to have fall apart.
It has a black and white cover.
Yeah.
That I was listening to on Apple Music.
I think it was like the Beatles, where one was recorded before the other, but one got released before the other.
Well, so first I was listening to this one with the black and white cover. I want to say 1971, 70. Right around there.
That would have been their second one.
Yeah,
second one. So I was listening to that.
Also called. They were both self-titled.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was listening to that first. What a great record! That's an absolutely fantastic record. So then this week I sent Craig a text. I was like, "Am I listening to the right record?" And this was actually like, when did I send you that? Yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I'm listening to the wrong record. And then he told me which one to listen to. A really cool record. Really cool record. So I'm going to kind of combine the two records and do a review of them. And I'm not going to go song by song by song. They're really, really good. They're very good instrumental. Everyone in this band is a top-notch musician. I can see why they were so big. Because they were huge in, like, where? Brazil? Argentina. I mean, they were really big down there. And I can totally see why. They have that 70s bluesy, folky, psychedelic rock down to a T. The bassist, you talked about the bassist, Richard? That bassist is really, really good. Like, throughout both records, he is awesome. And the drumming is spot on. I mean, the drummer really carries this band. The whole rhythm section, the bassist and drummer are absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to get into. I did not translate lyrics or anything, but I absolutely think they are fantastic. And I too, I will put this on my list of stuff to eventually buy. I think they were wonderful. I definitely need to do a deeper dive though into the correct album that we're going to review.
Yeah, remember the pink guy on the cover with the toilet plunger on his head?
Yes, yeah.
That made it easy. To find.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it. I want to do more of a deep dive, but man, musically they're really, really good. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 rainbows. Really good.
Okay. Are you guys ready for me to hate it?
This is why you should have probably gone third and sandwiched.
No, watch. He's going to love it. He's going to love it.
Love is a strong word, but I don't.
It always is, Craig. It always is.
And so is hate. So is hate a strong word. But actually, the only thing that like is hard for me is because I am a person that listens to lyrics, and when I don't understand what you're saying, so like Richard, I did translate the title, so that helped me kind of know the direction that they were maybe going in. The guy has a beautiful voice. I really, really enjoyed that. And I looked him up. That man did a lot of shit. And he's got a son that still does stuff. And then recently, a couple years ago, him and his band did like a whole bunch of the Almendra music or whatever. Luis was Spinata or whatever is the lead guitarist vocalist. They called him El Flaco, which means skinny, and he died of lung cancer in 2012. The interesting thing about the cover is that the label wanted to use a band picture. They didn't like it, and I think if I'm remembering correctly from what I read, Luis actually he painted, the lead singer did that cover. He did that artwork, and the label didn't like it, and they threw it away. And they were going to use the picture of the group. And the band found the crumpled up cover in the garbage. And they're like, no, we're using this cover.
You mean they literally threw it away? Wow.
They literally threw it away. And they found it. And he recreated it like the night before it was going into like pressing for the artwork. So I thought that was really interesting. Of course, and also Almendra in Spanish is almond. I learned that too. I learned that their band name is Almond in English.
You're a learner.
I am a learner. That's one thing. Like I don't know. Again, I don't know.
Almonds, cyanide,
I
poison.
would never listened to this in my life, probably. So it was definitely educational, and I've really enjoyed it. There's a lot of flutes, especially in that figuration. I'm going to say the English word. Lots of flutes going on in there. Fluty, fluty, flute, 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 flute. First song, there's a lot of la 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 las. But yeah, I thought he had a really nice voice, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. So,
Ooh.
but it still gets, it's 3 for me because I want to connect to the lyrics, and because I can't.
It takes 10 seconds.
But I need to hear. I need to hear them in like.
No excuse.
I want to sing along, and I cannot sing along in Spanish because I can't. Like, it doesn't work for me. Okay.
Oh Jesus! I listen to Korean songs.
I'm still giving it 3. I think that's good.
Yeah.
3 is good.
And Cinema
For
Paradiso
you,
is one of
for
my,
an album that is not yours.
So that's 14. What?
I would give Cinema Paradiso 5 rainbows. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Do you like the director's cut?
I think that's all I've seen, probably. Because I've only seen it on video. I saw it on videotape when it came out on video, and then I think that was the director's cut.
I saw the theatrical, and then I saw the director's cut, and I hated the director's cut. They really fucked up the end.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm going to get a beer. Hold on.
Anyway,
that
so that's... we didn't get a total, and I'm not doing it.
I told
14.
You got halves in there. Forget it. I don't do fractions.
You did not listen. I gave you a total. It's 14.
Oh, 14.
Yes.
I mean, the simplest math, and I'm on here. Let's see. 6 plus 6 is 15. I can't even believe watching some of these back.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So many of them are going to end up tied. And we're going to be like, really?
Yeah.
Well, what is this, a competition?
It's not a competition. No, it's not. No, it's not.
These are all competing with each other, and currently Peter Gabriel's Security and then that other album are in the lead.
That's the other album.
That other album. Oh, the one that you had, the one that you would.
The one that I gave the extra rainbow to because I thought no one else would like it.
You ruined the day.
I will never do that again, ever. I deserve it. I don't like, bullshit artists, and I totally became a bullshit artist.
Oh, shit. No. Shut your mouth. Okay.
How can you say I go about things the wrong way? Now it's time for our scenario. What album would you pull? And this time
he's got to add it up. He's got to add it up.
He said 14.
He already did 14.
Like twice now, which makes 28.
God.
But we also need our album.
It's in first place.
Okay.
That's right. It's Lou Reed Transformer.
Yes, which was.
Oh, that's what we're doing next week?
Yes, that is what we're doing. I have the Speaker's Corner version of that.
I do too.
You have the what?
Well,
it's the best version.
I was going to do it, but apparently there's 2 of us, so I can't do that now.
But it really is the best version of it. Yeah, because that's what I do is sit around like A-Bing different versions of Transformer.
I just have that in the CD, so I don't know what the other vinyl version sounds like.
I have no idea either.
But what is the scenario for what album we're pulling?
Oh yeah.
Where's my notes? All right, so a song or an album, you're going to pull this because this is something that you will only listen to in your home, that you can't listen to like while you're driving, and there's a certain reason of why you cannot listen to it. It could be a full album, it could be a song, or in your Walkman when you're walking. Just and why can you not listen to this? So this is something you would want to say, hey, I'm going to play this, but I wouldn't ever listen to this in the car because of such and such reason. Does that work?
Not really. It's more of a question than a scenario, but we'll go with it. We've done it before.
Wow. I'll go first because it'll be real quick. I also did not pull a record for this, but I know exactly what song. So this is a song I will not ever listen to in my car, and I probably won't even listen to it at home because I don't really like this band. But when I was a kid, I was probably 16 and a half. I had just gotten my driver's license. And The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News was probably the number one song in the world because it was in that movie, Back to the Future, maybe one or two. I don't even know which one it was in. It was the first one. Thank you.
Yeah, you did. And
I had just gotten my driver's license, and my mom always had little sports cars that she had a Dodge Charger when we were kids. So when I got my driver's license, she had a Firebird, and she had only had it for like a year. And she told me, not a chance in hell you are ever driving this car. Once in a while, she let me drive it. I think I had driven it twice. And it was a beautiful summer day. I cranked down the windows because that's what you did back in the day. You cranked them down. And I turned up the radio, and The Power of Love by Huey Lewis was on. I turned that. It's a good song. But I'm not a Huey Lewis fan. But I cranked that thing up. I was 16 years old. I turned that thing up, and I went for a drive. And wouldn't you know it, I made a ill-advised left turn, and this car, I got sideswiped. And I ended up putting like 3 people in the hospital. I walked away fine. Oh, I walked away. I walked away fine, but 2 of the 3 people in the other car were in the hospital for quite a while, especially the driver.
Wow.
And it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. And every time I hear that song, which I don't hear very often, but every time I hear it, it goes right back to that memory. I cannot listen to that song in my car. I cannot listen to that song anywhere, in my house, anywhere. Nope. I just can't do it.
I used to know somebody who refused to listen to songs in cars by people who died in car crashes. Like, would not ever listen to, like, I don't know how often Eddie Cochran's on the radio, or like
every day.
You know, who's the singer-songwriter that does Harry Chapin or something, but like people like that, it would turn it off. Like a superstition type thing.
Used to somebody like that.
But 7-minute extended 12-inch version of The Power of Love from Huey Lewis.
Jesus.
Along with the instrumental version.
Jesus, no.
Send that to Mikey.
It was awful. It was a horrible time. And my parents, obviously I was driving my parents' car, and I mean, they dealt with a lot of shit because of it. But, oh my God.
Well, if you have a very traumatic event associated with a song or with anything, I mean, it's just it's triggering.
Anything.
It's triggering.
Yeah. And I was a kid and I wasn't doing anything wrong. I mean, bad left turn, but I was not under the influence. I was totally fine, but yeah, it was
under the influence of Huey Lewis and the News.
That's the influence right there.
Right.
You need a new drug.
The power, right.
God, what a horrible band.
And now for a much more lighter story, here's Craig. Or wait, Craig goes last because it's his scenario.
Yeah.
So you go,
or he doesn't have, whatever.
No, go. Someone go.
We can go that way.
I don't really listen to it much anymore. I never really listened to it a lot to begin with, but Fuck the Police by NWA is probably not a song that you want to listen to in your car with the windows rolled down. You probably want to save something like that for your house, in private. Yeah, anything like that, or anything with any kind of... I don't listen to a lot of rap. I never really did, but every once in a while, back in the 90s or whatever, I had the subwoofers and all that kind of stuff in my car. I always stayed away from any kind of racial slurs with the window down and things like that. You want that in your house. Even Curtis Mayfield's Pusher Man song. I remember I warned you guys about that. That's a windows up song. Yeah, so songs like that, not in the car. Not in the car. Especially Fuck the Police, with you driving right next to the, and then you look behind you and there's a police, pulling you over. Well, Body Count or Mudhoney, Hate the Police, any of those kind of.
Yeah, you in the St. Louis area, Mike and I in Chicago.
Right.
I don't know what the police are like in Kansas City area, but oh boy.
The police in St. Louis are very nice.
Sure.
They're lovely here in Chicago to me.
Because you're not driving around listening to Fuck the Police.
you guys pick songs, and I was thinking of an album that there is. First of all, I don't have a car.
There's no rules.
Used to have one, and there were lots of CDs that I would put together for road trips because they were perfect for driving. But there are some that, there's just no way that I could listen to while I'm driving. And this is one of them, Alan Parsons' I, Robot. I can't listen to this while I'm driving. There's no way. It just, number one is...
Especially with cruise control on, that's really creepy.
Oh,
I, Robot.
It's well, not just because it's cruise control and I, Robot, but because now I'm giving myself permission to not pay attention to the road. This is a recording that there's a couple songs on here that they make me break down and cry while I'm listening to. This is a very emotional album for me.
Isn't Breakdown on that record?
Yes, Breakdown and the song Some Other Time.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Oh my God!
I just listened to that album probably 2 weeks ago. It was right before Halloween.
Which interesting part? There are two vocalists.
Such a good record.
There's two vocalists on that song because there's the male vocalist who is singing the main song in a matter of moment, lost till the end of time, etc. But then when you come to the refrain, some other place, somewhere, some other time, the original singer couldn't sing it the way Alan Parsons wanted him to, so he found another person whose voice matched in timbre, but it was a woman. And then he had her sing that part and then spliced them together. If you don't know that, you would never know that. Once you know that, then you can hear the difference, but anyway, Don't Let It Show. I mean, this whole album, especially when it came out, the time in my life was so relevant to me, and listening to it that, if I was driving, I would drive off the road because I'd be weeping, listening to the song. So that's a record I cannot listen to in a car. Probably not even as a passenger.
It's also one of those albums. We did a little scenario where what album would you pick to show off your new system or something? Didn't we do something like that? That I don't know if any of us picked that.
I did. Yes, this is the one that I picked for that.
It's absolutely stunning. I would pick that over Dark Side of the Moon or whatever.
I wouldn't want to be like you's on there too.
Yeah, it's a great song.
And now it's Craig's turn.
Now it's my turn. So I went last because it's kind of similar to Mike's story, but not really.
No.
My very, very first car I ever got. Well, actually, my very first car was like a 1970-something Pinto, but I had it for a week and it blew, and it was so awesome. It had a freaking 8-track player.
It blew?
Oh yeah, the engine.
Did you get rear-ended?
No, I was just driving and the engine blew, and
wow, blew while you're getting rear-ended.
No more Pinto for
me. It takes 3, baby.
That was the thing about Pintos. When they got rear-ended, they exploded.
My brother gave it
and
to
then
me.
They exploded.
Out of himself. But my first car that I got, it was me and I'm missing parts of this. I know you all are saying shit, but anyways, it was a 1987 Geo Metro. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
White. And so I was like, I got my car, and I was gonna go to gonna go to my brother's and pick up my nephew, and then he was gonna spend the weekend at my parents' with me. And it was like on this long, windy dirt road. Well, no, it wasn't dirt, but it was this long, windy road from my house to where they were living. And so I'm driving back. I've got my music on. I'm singing. I'm like, yeah. I go around the corner, and my freaking tire blows, and I slid off. I go right through a barbed wire fence. The pole, like, almost like it went through my back window, I think. I don't know. But anyways, my car that I just got, my very first car, I've just destroyed it by going through barbed wire fence, by getting through blood. The song that was playing, and I'm singing as I'm slitting, I'm like, I'm blah. And the song that was playing that I will not, if it comes on in the car, like if I've got like some sort of random mix or something,
I'm not sure I want to know.
Trauma.
This song comes on. I actually have a hard time listening to it in general, but if this song comes on and I am driving, I immediately will. And this was in '95. And I will not. This song plays in the car. Yeah, turn that fucking off. We're gonna wreck and we're gonna die.
You should always turn off.
So from the Erasure album, I say. The song is Always. I want to be with you and live with you in harmony.
Yeah.
I will not listen to that song in a car. It will not happen.
I want to be with you and make believe with you. In harmony, oh love.
And it was
God, now I can't listen to it.
But yeah, no,
I'm gonna listen to it.
It really
yeah, in your non-car.
That's the same car that later my brother got. It was so nice and repainted and everything for me. And that's the same car that when I was working at a gas station, I seen someone had keyed faggot across my beautiful new paint job. So. Yeah, somebody that lives here has got 3 different versions of it, so.
Oh. Terry!
It's hard because it's a good song. But
yeah.
I cannot know.
It's really weird sometimes how some event, can ruin a really good song, for you.
And ironically, you never listen to Always. Anyway,
don't you think? Which that song's not even.
That would be a good topic for sometimes. Songs. I mean, obviously you've already done one, but like songs that you're superstitious about. Are there any superstitious songs? We can discuss that sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, the power of love.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not bad things are going to happen. Like I said, that friend I had that won't. Falco would be another one. That wouldn't listen to it. Yeah, he died in a car wreck. So he wouldn't listen to the Falco either. Anybody that ever... It's like going on a plane and you won't listen to anybody that's been in a plane. You won't listen to Leonard Skinner or Jim Croce or John Denver or whatever.
Patsy Cline.
Don't know
Patsy Cline.
When I'll be
Jim
back.
Reeves.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Randy Rhoads.
Wow.
Aaliyah. To Aaliyah.
Yeah. A lot of...
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
I
went to Madison.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, it's because of the. I guess the cheap, small engine planes. I guess that they had to travel around
shitty
the
weather.
with.
And shitty weather.
Oh,
the pilot who probably should have said something but didn't.
No.
Shitty weather. All right, I think that wraps it up. Before it gets any more morbid.
Who's doing the album review next week?
It's
Transformer.
It's
Transformer.
Transformer. That's right.
It's our last of the winners.
Of the winners, and that was Rachel.
We're going to do the losers next.
Well, and that poses the question. I mean, well, maybe we can discuss this when we end. But if you want it, because I still have all these papers.
Yes, I was going to say yes. We will need that.
Yeah. Okay.
We will need the hat. Get the hat, Craig. Will be
all right.
Like get the axe, Tina.
Oh,
that'll be the call. Anyway, yes, and then we'll have that album review. We'll have a new scenario. What album would you pull? And we'll talk about whatever else we can think of talking about. Maybe there'll be some huge news in the world of vinyl records. Yeah. So stay tuned and stay tuned for next time we go live as well.
We did not talk about Revolver. I think we're probably the first.
Well, actually, we did talk about Veruca. We talked about Veruca Salt Revolver. Briefly.
Yeah, we did. We covered all the bases.
Yes.
Bases.
Thank you so much for watching. We are the Vinyl Gunkle communities.
I love it.
Definitely time to wrap it up. I'm Robert Fithen, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo,
Craig's Final Plethora,
and Mike at Hub Tunes.
Please consider liking the video and subscribing so when we do go live, you'll be the first to know. Of course, when we go live, not a lot of the stuff, sometimes things don't end up in the final version, so you need to catch us live. Thank you so much again for watching. Have a wonderful day or evening or midnight or whatever time it is, wherever you are.